Hi everyone, I'm the Tax Pro, and today we're going to talk about notices from the IRS, in particular the CP14. So, what do you do if you receive a CP14 in the mail, and what exactly does it mean? This right here is a sample CP14. It's fake. I just pulled it up online. And there's a couple of things to notice here. Number one, you'll see the notice number up here in the upper right-hand corner. So we can see that this is a CP14. CP14s are used by the IRS to let you know that there is a balance due. The IRS is showing that you owe them money. So the notice will be in the upper right-hand corner, and then it's going to show you the tax year. So it's going to tell you for what year do you owe this money, or does the IRS think you owe money? Okay, so this particular tax year is in 2022 on this fictitious CP14. It's also going to give you a notice date. So we can see the date of the notice. It's going to have your information. So your social security number and your information over here. It's going to give you some additional information right here. So it's going to say you have a balance due for this particular year, and this is the particular amount that is due. Okay. It's going to show you a billing summary. So it's going to show you the tax that was owed, the payments and credits. It's going to show you any penalties and interest, etc. Now, there's a couple of things that you need to do if you get a CP14. Number one is obviously open the envelope. I know that sounds silly, but a lot of people have fear when they receive a notice from the IRS in the mail, and they get worried about opening it. Go ahead and open the envelope and see what type of notice it is. Right here, we see it's a CP14. Next thing we need to do is we need to determine, do you actually owe that amount to the IRS? So is this a legitimate balance due? Okay, sometimes you'll get a CP14 and it's not accurate. So the CP14 may be issued, but there's actually not a balance due. You're an individual, and for some businesses, you can log in to your IRS tax account and you can check your balance right online in your portal. It's really easy and really convenient. So you can look to see, is this actually real? I've had clients receive CP14s before, and I've received CP14s as the power of attorney, and it wasn't accurate. I don't know why I got a CP14 for that particular client, but I called the IRS and I said, hey, I know the taxpayer paid this off, and they say we have no record sending you a CP14. But I got it in the mail as the power of attorney, so I know it was legitimate. So sometimes you'll get a CP14 and it's not legitimate. It was an error on the IRS's part, or something wonky happened. Okay. Other times there actually will be a balance due on your account. Now we need to determine, is the balance due legitimate, or is the balance due an error? Okay, so don't just assume that because the IRS sent you a bill that that's what you actually owe. You may not owe that amount. So we want to verify that the amount on the CP14 is correct. Okay, so we want to verify, we want to compare it to what the IRS has on file to confirm that they sent the proper CP14. And then we want to understand why the IRS thinks we owe them money. Okay, is it a legitimate balance due? Or was there an error processing a form? I've had somebody come to me before and they say, hey, I owe the IRS all this money and I don't understand why. And I said, okay, well, let's look over your tax returns and bring me what you have. Bring me what that other preparer prepared, and we'll look through it and we'll see what is there. And it turned out the other preparer didn't make a mistake at all. What happened was the IRS made an error when processing a 1099 that was issued to the taxpayer, and they added an extra zero at the end. So instead of showing that individual made $19,000 from a particular contract, it was showing 190, which obviously caused a significant amount of issues for that client down the road. So you want to make sure that this isn't a processing issue with the IRS. The IRS maybe has not applied payments properly or timely. They may have put a different form on your tax account and then assessed tax based on that. There's a number of different things that can happen. So you want to make sure the CP14 is reflecting an accurate balance. Now, if you find out, that you owe the IRS, or that you owe the IRS and you get the CP14, there is no direct response needed to the CP14. Okay, so you don't have to write a letter to respond to the CP14. This is an informational letter that the IRS sends out to say, hey, you owe us money. You need to take care of it. Okay. So what you do if you have an accurate CP14 is you need to figure out, okay, how are we paying the IRS? Are we doing an offered compromise, installment agreement, etc.? Those are topics for another video. If it is incorrect, we need to determine why it's incorrect, and then we need to make steps to correct that. So if you've determined that the CP14 is not accurate, and there's an error on your tax account, at that point in time, you need to reach out to the IRS and try to get that resolved, or hire somebody to help you with that. So this is a sample CP14. There's also an IRS, website that tells you all about understanding your CP14 notice, and this is helpful. So it's going to allow you to sign into your online account, and then it's going to give you some next steps. So you want to read the notice carefully. It's going to explain how much you owe and how to pay it. But I'm also going to add in here, you want to make sure this is a legitimate balance. The IRS does make mistakes. So don't just assume that you owe it. If you get a bill for something that you didn't realize you owe, make sure you understand why they're showing that you owe it. And if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. If it was, please consider giving us a like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.